Well, hello. I was having a little bit of a connection issue. Terrible reception right now. Let me back up. I'm going on an errand. Oh no. God, I pray that those are leaves. Hold on, I gotta check something. I think those are leaves. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna pull forward so this person can move around me. Just looks. I wish you could see it. I know you're like, who cares right now? But you know what? I do. I'm gonna back up. I'm just gonna back right up and look at it. Hold on. You're gonna go with me. Before we do my little morning thing, let's go see what this is in the road. Alright, my hair is a mess and we all don't care. Hold on. Let's back up. Back it up. Okay. It's a branch. It's a big leaf. I wish you could see. You'll see it in the rear view. It looked like it was laying in such a way that it was like an animal or something, and I was like, oh no. But it's not. Anyway, it's not. Everything's fine. Alright. Moving on. Thank you, Lord, that was just a branch. Now, you are going to hear in the back. Listen. Oh, of course, now it's not going to do it. Calling me a liar. It's because I have a folded down kennel back there. We moved Grandma and her cat and her fur babies, and so we had a cattery set up in the back, and so the kennel's still back there. It's folded down on itself, so it's like tick, 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 tick. Anyway. Girl, get out of the road. Anyways, it's Veterans Day, and before I do my song and my little thing, I would just like to say thank you to all of my friends and my family and my loved ones who have served and are serving our country, and in the my history and other people's history who've lost their lives defending this country. I just want to say thank you is not enough. It's not enough for what you have had to sacrifice. But thank you for your sacrifice. And you know what? I'm going to turn back around. Listen, I'm going to get my coffee. I've had a little bit of a morning. I'm off today, but I had to work a little teeny bit this morning, and I just don't remember if I shut my garage door. You know what I mean? And I can't go and enjoy my coffee in the thrift store while I'm worried about my garage door. Let's just turn around and we'll go look at it, and then we'll do a little song, and then I'll tell you about my verse this morning. My verse this morning. This seems like such an adventure. Aren't you excited that you get to go on this adventure with me? I'm sure that you are. Oh, golly. Anyway, we're having some rain. A little bit of remnants from Hurricane Nicole. And it hasn't been bad. I mean, a little bit of wind bursts here and there. Literally hardly anything. And some rain. But nothing. I mean, it's not even... Oh, that was a big yawn. It's not even like a terrible storm or anything. Now, we've had some storms, so I don't know if it's going to get worse or if this is it, but they had some wind advisories in our area, and Georgia Power came with an email saying, hey, there's going to be some storm in our area and some whatever, so we've got workers and all the things. It does look like there's a couple branches down, but I think those might have been down already. Anyway, that might be the key, It's like if they come out in advance and say, hey, we're totally prepared. We're having all these workers and we're ready for this and that and loss of power. And then the storm's like, psh, all right, well, they're ready. So whatever. We're not going to come now. Maybe that's the trick. Okay, yes, my door is closed. I can see that it's closed. Don't judge me. I just didn't want to go. Now it's back up again. Let's back up again. And now for real. But I just, when you're not sure and you're like, I'm just down the street. I better go check. No, well, now I know. Everything is closed. I can move on and I can enjoy this time together. I'm so glad we have this time together to laugh and sing a song or two. That's not really what I'm going to sing. All right, anyway. All right. So without faith, it is impossible to please God. Because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. My mom sent that to me yesterday. I was going to do that song, and I totally forgot to even do a song. So, anyway. All right, so listen. Today is a doozy. It's James 3:9, and I was reading the verse, which I'll tell you what it is, and when I read it, it's like an extension of the verse before, so I'm going to tell you what the verse is, but anyway, chapter 3 of James, it's good, it's packed, it's not that long, but I read it and I was like, that's good stuff. So, the verse is, if I can remember, I tried to memorize it. With it, it's talking about the tongue. With it, we bless the Lord our God, we bless the Lord our Father, and with it, we curse men who are made in the likeness of God. I was like, oh my gosh. Because before it's talking about the tongue, and da-da-da-da-da, and it says, and with our tongue we bless the Lord our Father, and with it we curse men who are made in the likeness of God. We use our tongue for both blessing and cursing. And I was like, oh man, that is good. Again, the whole chapter is about the tongue and stuff, and it's broke again into like two sections, right? The first part, it talks about the tongue, the power of the tongue. The second is that with the tongue, there's either wisdom, which comes from heaven, and it's displayed by being peaceable, and pureness and gentleness, reasonableness, mercy, good fruit, and that the other side of that is this worldly, it's used for worldly evil, and that, the evidence of that is jealousy, selfish ambition in the heart, and that selfish ambition and jealousy in the heart, from it flows all forms of evil, and demonicness, and disorder, it's harsh, right? And so in the beginning of the chapter, when it's talking about the tongue, it was saying, it's a small part of our body. Just like a boat has a rudder, and the rudder is small. And even in the storms, that little rudder can turn that big boat, however. Or the horse, when you put a little bridle in its mouth, it's a small piece, but you can turn that horse whatever direction you want it to go. And it's that's the same with the tongue. The tongue is a small member of our body, but with it directs the course of our life. There is power of life and death in the tongue, and that the evilness of the tongue, it says in James, is from hell. And what else did it say? The evilness of the tongue. Oh, the tongue is a relentless evil. The tongue is a relentless evil. Fullness. I don't know. Flowing from whatever. Something about hell. But it's harsh. Anyway, when I was talking about some of the examples. It said, you know, you're blessing and you're cursing at the same time. And the direction of your life flows from your tongue. It says a forest fire, a full forest fire starts from one tiny little spark, you know? And it's like, don't live this way. Don't live in such a way that blessing and, but that blessing and cursing comes out of, you know, your mouth, because ultimately you cannot have fresh water and bitter water or rotten, gross water out of the same opening. Like if you have a fountain, you're not going to have fresh and bitter water out of the same opening. The bitterness corrupts the whole thing. And it was really good because we don't watch our tongue. We say whatever we want. There is no bridle on how we speak. We speak to others mean and negative, but also we speak to ourselves negative. We curse the things that God has given us. We believe the lies of the enemy that nothing good will happen. I'm not, I can't do whatever. I am stuck. I am just this way. Whatever it is, right? I'm getting my coffee. I'm so excited. And so we don't just curse other people, we curse ourselves. Anyway, it was just so good. It was just so good about the power of your tongue. It's a tiny member of your body, and it's powerful. All right, you want to hear me order my coffee? I'm at the Human Bean in Dawsonville. I love it. Okay, hold on. Let's order my coffee.
Welcome to the Human Bean. What can I get started for you today?
Yes, can I have a hot, large, sugar-free caramel breve?
A large, hot, sugar-free caramel breve?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, what else for you?
That's it.
We'll see you at the window, hon.
Thank you. With your coffee, they give you a little chocolate-covered espresso bean. They put it right on top of your coffee. It's so good. Okay, listen. I know that my nickname is Cotton Candy. And I know that I seem sweet. I am sweet. But I have a very sharp tongue. I mean, and I can really be self-righteous about something. Like if I feel like I'm right and someone is wrong, like with my husband, especially, and I am good at using my words to sound right in how I'm speaking, but I'm cutting you to the size of ash and like, and I know it in my heart that I can use my mouth that way. And it's hard when you feel like you're right about something not to use, for me, not to use my articulateness. I don't even know if that's a word, but to use some of my verbal skill to get my way, or to, push someone into submission with what I'm really wanting. And that flows from the heart. And I've had to learn from eating my words multiple times. Watching your tongue and how you speak to yourself is one of the most valuable things that you can do. But watching your tongue and how you speak to other people or not speak to other people is also one of the most valuable things that you can do for them. Because living in peace and living in goodness and forgiveness is hard. It is not easy, and it comes with bridling your mouth. And let me tell you, lastly, living in peace does not mean that I walk around laying down all of my convictions and all of the things that God has said and the truth of the Word of God so that I can agree with you. Living in peace does not mean that I lay down everything that God says in His Word so that you and I can be at peace with one another. That's not peace. That's not peace. Just so that we're clear. But I love you like a crazy person, you know? All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna get my coffee. I'm so excited. It's like my favorite. It's a little treat and I love it. All right, well, I love you. I hope you guys have a great day. Be good to one another. Don't forget, you are one of the one another's. Don't forget to be good to yourself. I love you, and I mean it, Peanut. Mwah.